Hi everyone, I'm joined here by two of our Kirkpatrick students, Matthew Vincent and Rachel Henry, who've joined me just for a short interview today, right in the middle of a very busy week, just as term gets going. So Matthew, as some of you might know, is about to start his first year at Queen's, and Rachel is going into her third year over in St Andrews. So why don't we kick off by both of you telling me a little bit about what you're studying this year, and if there are any particularly interesting modules that you're doing. What about you, Maddie?
So I'm studying biological science at Queen's this year, but to be honest, I don't actually have any modules that I really know are going to be interesting yet. So yeah,
Yeah, all will be revealed next week when you, I suppose, arrive in your first classes and register for modules and that kind of thing.
hopefully, yeah.
Brilliant. And what about you, Rachel?
Yeah, so I'm going into my third year studying modern history and theology, and I'm finding my my modules interesting so far. We're just in week one, so I'm just kind of kicking off with reading and everything. But yeah, for history, I'm doing some on gender history in early modern Europe, which I'm hoping sounds a lot less complicated than it might. We'll see how it goes. And then for theology, I'm doing some stuff on the Reformation and some ethics.
Terrific. They sound like a great set of modules to me. Well, as you move into a new year, what are you both looking forward to most? I mean, there are lots of things, I suppose, that are coming your way, but what are the sort of standout things that you're looking forward to? What about you, Maddie?
So to be honest, like the thing that I'm most looking forward to that hasn't actually got anything to do with biology or anything. So I'm really looking forward to playing hockey for Queen's. I'm playing with guys kind of my age. And then I am looking forward to the course, obviously, because it's something that I want to study, and it's better than just being in school, and you have a lot more independence and things like that.
And Maddie, you've already been recruited to the first 11 before you've even started as a student. Is that right?
Yeah, so we've had a few preseason games and stuff, but
Excellent.
yeah, mixed bag.
Match on Saturday. On the
Questionable. We'll move on. We'll move on.
Move on from that. Brilliant. What about you, Rachel? What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, I think for me it's actually just really lovely to actually be back in the town, and yeah, just to be able to reconnect with people that we haven't seen for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice just to move back in with my housemates, and yeah, just have a bit of normality of uni back whenever everything was online for the last semester before summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I suppose campus life is going to look a little bit different this year, isn't it? I mean, it's going to look different socially. It's going to look different with your studies. You might be doing some online learning. You might be having a kind of blended approach with some face-to-face teaching and some distance learning as well. And things are going to look a bit different with church too. So I'm just wondering, what sort of challenges are you both anticipating this year as you launch in? What about you, Matt?
So one of the things that I'm kind of worried about is the whole online lecture thing, and a lot of our course is going to be online on Zoom meetings like this.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that kind of making friends on my courses and all my classes. I think that's kind of a struggle with because it's kind of hard to stand out in that situation.
Yeah, and it's certainly harder to begin to build up those relationships when you maybe aren't seeing people face to face as regularly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you, Rachel?
Yeah, I think for us, pretty much everything is going to be online for the foreseeable future. So classes and church and CU and all of our other societies. So yeah, I think there's just a real worry that people are just going to be left out in that, or people are going to get lonely. But yeah, I think just being able to manage all of that, to still do church and to still enjoy what we're learning. Yeah, I think it'll just be very, very different, and people just have to adapt to a lot of changes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll certainly be praying for both of you with navigating those sorts of changes. I know they're going to be a real challenge, both in terms of lectures, studies, but also for church and any extracurricular stuff that you're doing as well. But how else can we be praying for you both as a church as you go into this year?
So mainly it's kind of that I enjoy my time this year because I really don't know what I'm expecting, to be honest.
It'll be great.
Yeah. So I obviously hope that I make friends and stuff, and that'll be great. But another thing is that I just kind of stand out as a follower of God in all my classes, and the people can recognize kind of my Christian faith. And yeah, I really hope that.
Absolutely. We'll certainly keep that in prayer. How about you, Rachel?
Yeah, I think much the same. I think third year for whenever you're doing a degree in Scotland, it's just a bit of a step up academically. So the work that I do now actually counts. So that I think will just mean I spend slightly more time actually doing my reading. But yeah, I think just I'm involved with CU committee this year, and I think that has just been really scary to have to change everything and kind of rethink things. So I'd really appreciate prayer just for wisdom. And we were really encouraged actually by how many people have got involved, and just all the ways that people are still keen to get stuck in sharing their faith at uni. But yeah, we just really appreciate your prayers in how we go about running that well.
Yeah, absolutely. I can just imagine how much more complex that's going to be this year, but terrific to hear that so many students are still wanting to get involved in CU life on campus. Well, look, all the best to both of you for the term ahead, and thanks so much for making the time to speak with me. Take care.
No,
Thank you.
thank you.